Hello everyone, welcome to day two of learning AI projects. And yes, yesterday we left out with the outline of our project, which is AI with scientific research. And yes, today we are moving forward, okay, with the explanation of each and every things in basics, okay. So Aditi will start with the things. So Aditi, you can go and explain up with the thing.
Okay, thank you, Avinash. Hi, everyone. So, yes, I remember in our yesterday's class, Avinash told that guys take help of your big brother and you can read the description of all the paradigms. But now we thought that at least we can give you some points on these, like we can explain you in short so that you can get an idea of what are these paradigms, right? So we can start with the first paradigm, that is LLM. So LLM is large language model. You know what is LLM? I'll tell you. When you'll this particular algorithm will help you to predict something else. Like what it does, when we'll insert some big data, it will read that data and it will write the text like a human. Okay, let's take an example of email. So when you write dear, in whenever you are drafting a mail and you write dear, then the email helps like automatically sir comes up, right? So this is what LLM does. LLM helps you to predict the next word by seeing the last word or by checking the patterns. Now, if we'll move further, the next one was RAG. RAG is retrieval augmented generation. You know what? Why we are using, like, why we are reading about RAG when we already know about LLM? So I'll tell you one thing. See, LLM has everything. He's capable enough, but everything has some disadvantages as well as advantages. So disadvantage of LLM is when you'll give it a large data, big and big amount of data, then it will forget something. So to make him remind, we use RAG. You can say RAG is like wife of a husband who makes him remind everything, right? So yes, RAG will help you, like RAG will help LM to remember each and everything. We'll move further with agentic AI. You know what does agentic AI is? Agentic AI is basically a smart manager. Have you ever like have you ever had an opportunity to talk to a manager? You know, a smart manager, what he does, he just divides his team into groups and he divides the work accordingly. And he just sit ideally and after, like at the end of the day, all the work that was assigned to the manager, okay, is completed by his employees, right? So this is what agentic AI is. He is a smart manager. What he does, he divides the program into small parts called agent, and then the work is getting done. Now we'll move on to the next part, that is ML. ML is machine learning. I know most of you would be knowing about this, right? Machine learning is learning the pattern from the data. This is very, very basic. Now everyone is aware of it, right? So we'll move further with deep learning. You know what does deep learning is? Deep learning, you can say, is big brother of ML. Like, see, this means that in deep learning, we use complex neural networks. You know what is neural networks, right? Um, I can give you one example of neural network, that is fuzzy logic. Have you ever read that? If no, go through it once. It is very easy. Now we'll move on to the next one, that is generative AI. You know, now the name itself can help you like understand what does this mean. Generative means to generate and AI. So AI is generating something new, is what generative AI is. Okay. So means like it is just not helping you to predict something, but it is creating something. So I'll give you one example. Let's take an example of Dollar Mini. So Dollar Mini is a library of Python. Okay. So it is a type of generative AI that will help you to generate images. For example, if you'll write, generate a scenery for me, and that AI would generate a scenery for you. So it is not predicting something, but it is creating something or generating something. Now the next one is symbolic AI. Okay, so symbolic AI means it's using something symbol, right? No. Like symbolic AI is generally using if-then style. Like we use if-else, right, in Python, and symbolic AI use if-then style. If A is true, then it will move on to the next step. If A is not, then if A is not true, then it will move on to the next block, that is then. Now we'll move on to Neuro Symbolic AI. So just now I told you about symbolic AI, right? So what is symbolic AI? You know that the AI that uses if then method. Then what is neuro? You can think neuro means neural network, right? And I told you just now I told you about neural networks, that is fuzzy logic and everything. So neuro symbolic AI is combination of neuro neural network and symbolic AI. Now, we'll move on to the next one, that is RL. RL is reinforcement learning. So, have you, like, do you remember we used to solve some maths problem using trial and error method in our class 6 or 7, I guess, right? So, this reinforcement learning is built on the same method. Like, it learns the data by trial and um, error method. So whenever something you have done a good prediction or a good choice, then you'll be rewarded. Otherwise, you have to pay penalty for it for bad choices. Now we'll move on to the next and the last one, that is evolutionary algorithm. So, have like we all have studied biology, right? Till class 10. So we are aware of these terms, that is mutation, selection, reproduction. These all terms comes under reproduction, right? So evolutionary algorithm is created using these terms, like using these methods. This algorithm has been created. So these were the paradigms. Now, Avinash, you can take over with the steps that we have to follow.
Okay. So Aditi, you have beautifully explained basically what are those 11 paradigms of generating any AI tool. Okay. So I will quickly brief it so that if anyone would have left out to understand something, so he can quickly relocate it. Okay. So if we will go into LLMs, so basically what is LLMs? Okay. So for example, if you are learning something, if you are learning something, then obviously there are various textual books are there. Okay. So for example, you are learning data science. So to learn data science, there are several topics are there. For example, Python is there, Power BI is there, ML is there, DL is there, AI is there. Several things are there, right? So here also, when I'm explaining the things, when Aditi explained the things, okay. So Aditi worked as an LLM. Aditi explained most of the things. But when we will move down to the RAG, Aditi missed out something. Okay. So what things Aditi missed out, that particular thing I'm explaining. So I am working as a RAG here. So basically, RAG, what it does, it just supports the LLMs. Whatever thing is being left out uh, with LLM. Why? Because like we are humans, right? And no one have 100% accuracy whenever we are designing any model as well. So that model as well have the accuracy of 99.9%. Means like when you heard about some ad of Dettol, so Dettol also kills only 99.9% of germs, right? that 0.1% germs is being left out. Okay. So that 0.1%, who will carry those, right? So that part is of RAG. Okay. And what do you mean by agentic AI? So basically, agentic AI means like there are certain things being divided. For example, if you are working in some corporate, or if you're working, if you're attending some colleges, right? So for ringing the bell, for opening the gate, for teaching some specific class, for teaching some specific domain, the specific persons are there, right? So what we are doing, basically, we are dividing the our whole workload into a simple, means like, so for example, if you want to achieve a big goal, okay, so to achieve a big goal you have to divide your goals into smaller steps. Okay. So what will happen when you will achieve those smaller steps? So it will boost confidence. And then similarly, if you will combine those smaller steps, then ultimately you will reach at the top, right? So for example, if you want to reach at 11th floor on the building, right? And if the lift is not working, so what you will do, you will not just directly climb onto the second floor and you will reach, after second floor you will reach on 10th floor, right? You will go step by step, that is from first, second, third, fourth. So what is basically agentic AI does here? Agentic AI basically, it helps us to break our codes into smaller pieces so that we can handle each piece with every different person here, right? So basically, and what do you mean by machine learning? Machine learning is the simple basic AI tool here. Means like it finds the patterns, it understand the patterns, okay, and how it understand the patterns means like on the basis of your past data. Okay. So for example, most of you are, who is watching this video, right? They are somewhere around 22 25 years of age, right? Because that where you are trying to switch your domains, right? So let's take a practical example. Practical example means, what means like, you guys must be in a relationship, right? So what you will do when you will move on to the next relationship, you will learn the patterns of your first relationship, right? So machine learning is doing this thing. And when we move on to the deep learning, so here deep learning, neural networks means the brains, the neurons which you are having it. So with the help of brains you are learning those patterns. Okay. So for example, if you are taking interviews, right? For example, if you are some HR, right, and you are taking interviews, and if you have been taking interviews, for example, 100,000 candidates is there, right? So if 1,001 or 101 candidate will come, and if we will look by the body language itself, you can predict, okay, or you can predict that what type of answers he is going to give, whether he is cheating or not. Again, how you can relocate it, how you can understand by its body language, it's just by your human uh, neurons, means like by your brain itself. So basically DL, what it means, DL means the brain of your human body. So that basically it's DL. And when we move on to the generative AI, so obviously generative AI, it create something new. Means like it will not predict anything. It will, like for example, if you are having a high IQ, right? For example, there are some person in your class, or in in your known, right? So what happens means like by their behavior, means like there are, or they are curious. And if if someone is curious, they are obviously generating something. Like for example, we can take a data like in 2014, the number of startups in India were, it's were around 2000 to 4000, right? But right now the number of startups, when we take the data of 2024, so the number of startups from 4000, it rose to 1 lakh 4000. Okay. So what is that? That is obviously the generative thing which your brain does. Okay. And you are obviously generating new ideas and you are implementing in your startups, right? So basically that was generative AI. And what is basically symbolic AI, right? symbolic AI here is if then rules. Obviously, it is limiting some restriction in it, right? So, for example, if you are an army person, right? So there are certain rules and regulation for army person. If you are in a war, right? Then obviously and you are just following some terrorist group, right? So what you can do, you will not pee. Why you will not pee? Because there are drones who are looking for some thermal indicators, and if you are peeing also, so by your pee you will get detected that okay, here the person has been feed by the thermal indicator. So when you are in a war, these all things you should keep it in mind, and these all things comes under rules and regulations. So this basically this symbolic AI does. And uh, what is this neuro symbolic AI? Again, the function is same as if of symbolic AI. The another thing which we are adding is neuro. Neuro again here is the brain. We are adding brain to symbolic AI. For example, I have told you that you are in a war and you are some paratroopers, right? And if you want to pee, so what you will do? You will just use your brain. You will just dig a hole, you will pee, and then you will cover that hole. So what will happen? The thermal indicator will not be able to indicate your location. So you are obviously using your brain. So neurosymbolic AI means this. And what do you mean by reinforcement learning? Reinforcement learning again here means it's learned by trial and error thing. Means like in just like my age is 26, right? So within my age till my 26, I have definitely done some good things which for which I was being rewarded, and obviously I have done some bad things. Okay, so for that particular thing, uh whether I was being not rewarded, or whether I am lacking into my career, or it can be in anything, right? It's just the same way. Means like uh, by your actions you are getting rewarded, at it is uh, going to be a good thing or it's going to be a bad thing, right? Or for example, for this particular project, what is needed, you have to spend at least 2 to 3 hours per day till 1 month. And if you are investing 1 hour per day, so what will happen? The time limit from 1 month it will increase to 2 months, right? But if you are spending 4 to 5 hours, so the time limit of 1 month will reduce to 2 weeks. So obviously, by your actions itself, you are getting rewarded, and that particular thing, what we call is the karma. Okay, if you are following some Hinduism text. So that particular thing is karma, that you are being rewarded by your actions. So this particular thing, reinforcement learning, it learns by its actions. Means like some actions which he have performed in his past, he will not perform in future. Why it will not perform in future? Because he knows the results, he knows the consequences, right? So this particular thing was reinforcement learning. And when we come about evolutionary algorithms, so evolutionary algorithms obviously means like it means like for example, if you haven't watched the documentary of Homo sapiens, right? So you just go and watch the documentary, it is given on YouTube, right? So you will see that how humans evolved. Firstly, the Homo sapiens, they used to live on trees. Then they just they were just removed from their particular location. Then they used to travel. So how every different species of human beings combine, and today we are in a right, means like what, I can't say it a right, but yes, we are in some decent generation is there, right? We are not using stones to light the fire, right? So why it happens? It happens because the correct choices was being made by mutation, and you can say here by selection as well. Okay, so these all things come under evolutionary algorithms. So again, these all things was the summarized, like the basic things. But again, if in the context of AI, autonomous AI, research assistant scientific discovery, what all things, what all these terms means. Okay, so basically what we are doing here in this particular project, uh, there is some research is there. Okay, we will be doing some research of scientific discovery, right? And obviously the research paper you would find out it on Google, or you can just take help of the chat GPT, okay, where you can find the research paper of some scientific discovery. Again, you don't have to stick with only one scientific discovery. You can move on to the 2, 3, 5, 10. It's again up to you. The more the data, the more your model will perform accurately, right? So here basically what LLM will do, LLM will read all those documentaries, all those research paper which you have used it. So LLM will help us to read those. Okay. And basically what is RAG here? RAG here means like if something is left out, okay, you are using 10 research paper is there. Okay. For example, Aditi is a brilliant student, right? And what she does, she read all those 10 research papers. And when we come to the RAG here, basically it is a book. A book will contains all the definitions, but as a student, or you can say as a professional, if I am reading that book, I might not be able to relocate all those things, all those 100 things which is located in that book. So obviously if we will take the help of the book, we can see and tell. It's just same like a open book test. Okay, you might have appeared some open book test in your college life or in your schools. Okay, so when you are giving open book test, then the uh, you can say the accountability, or you can say I'm not able to remember that specific term. Means the accountability will increase. Okay, the efficiency will increase of yours. For example, if you are giving a test without open book, so you might score 80 out of 100. But if you are giving with RAG, it might happen that you will score 100 out of 100. Okay, and this might you have occurred. Means like if you are giving some interview and if you are taking chat GPT help, then obviously you will be able to answer most of the things, most of the questions, right? So RAG here, basically what it will does, it will hold the information of all those 10 research papers which you are going to find. And LLMs will read all those research papers. Okay. And again, what basically this agentic AI will do? Agentic AI will divide our code in certain blocks. You can see here a reader agent is there, insight agent is there, hypothesis agent is there, critic. So basically these all things, okay, these all things, these all modules will be divided into so that our AI application can work smoothly. Okay, the reader agent will read, insight agent will find the insights, what is missing in that hypothesis. Again, it will generate new questions, new research questions he will generate. Okay, so basically here, the agentic AI, we will be dividing our code, our program into simple modules, right? So similarly, machine learning again, it will learns the pattern from your research paper. Deep learning, it will assign a brain to your machine learning model. Generative AI, it will generate something new, some new hypothesis. If it's necessary, it will generate it. Okay, and symbolic AI, again, it will help us to make some rules. And if you are making rules, then obviously we are going further. Just like I explained you the army example, you will not die, you will survive and you will kill your opponents, right? So this is basically symbolic AI. And neuro symbolic AI is means like whenever you are using symbolic AI, you will use your brains. So these all things we will be going to do. So what is for you guys, if someone is watching this video today, so what you can do, you can just go and research the research papers. You can find the PDF, and upon your research, it's not that you only find the research paper, you will also understand on that research paper what all things are there. Okay, so tomorrow we will meet at the same time, and we will discuss our further progress in this project. So till then, bye bye. And